Hey everyone, and welcome back to the trail. I just got back onto the Continental Divide, and the Colorado Trail and Continental Divide Trail are reunited now. So that's it for the collegiate section where there's two different paths, and now I basically have close to 100 trail miles to get to Lake City, which is a long stretch, but working in my favor is at some point in the next day or two, the trail goes down to about 9,000 feet. I'm up around close to 12,000 right now, and it's relatively flat for a long time. I would say close to 40 miles, so it's definitely possible to get some longer mileage days in. So it's kind of it. I had a great rest day in Salida. I met back up with a bunch of hikers I had met at Twin Lakes, and it just kind of worked out where we all arrived in Salida about 5 days later. Most people took Collegiate West, and I took the other route, so it was cool to meet back up with everyone, and we got to hang out a lot together, which was really fun. It's really easy to make a community out here and identify with the other people on the trail because we're all going through the same thing. That was kind of a rough stretch for everybody with the mosquitoes and the weather and everything. I think they had it harder on the Collegiate West, but I still had a hard time on the East, so that's cool. So I'll probably be seeing them along the way, and other than that, the good news is that I can definitely tell my fitness level is improving, or my body is acclimating to the altitude. I've been out here for a little more than 3 weeks now, and the climbs are just, I'm able to just take a slow, steady pace and get up these hills that I was getting out of breath before. So that's been really gratifying. I just climbed up from around 9,000 feet, close to 12,000, over 8 miles with, I weighed my pack at the hostel this morning, and it was 28 pounds. So that includes a 5 to 6 day supply of food, which I'm pretty happy with that weight. It's that's heavy for my pack, but overall, I mean, if you're under 30 pounds for like a 6-day backpacking trip, that's not bad at all. And I just climbed that 3,000 foot climb, and I feel fine. So the fitness level really does improve when you're just out here walking every day, and I am pain free, so that's great. I'm feeling good. And so this stretch of the trail, it kind of leaves this Collegiate Peaks area, goes down into, I guess I would call it like a high desert. There's a lot of sagebrush. The scenery is not as dramatic. There's a lot of cows and ranching, and then as I get closer to Lake City, it's going to get up into the San Juan Mountains, which is going to be one of the most scenic parts of the trail, and then back into the high elevation. Hey everyone, it's the morning of July 21st, and still making my way to Lake City. I mentioned this was a long stretch. By the way, you can see the cows in the background. We are officially in cow country. So I mentioned this was over 100 trail miles from Salida to Lake City, and so I was hoping to average in the upper teens the first couple of days of this. It didn't happen. I basically managed 14 miles each day, so mainly because I brought so much food because I was pretty light on food the last couple sections, which was not too much fun if you feel like you don't have enough food. So the pack was pretty heavy. I mentioned that I had climbed 3,000 feet the first day and felt good after that, but yesterday my Achilles started aching in the afternoon, which really hadn't happened in a long time. So also I was feeling really just like sleepy tired. So I basically decided to listen to my body and pretty much cut the day short. Got a lot of sleep. The Achilles feel okay right now, so we'll see you later. I think it's from the weight, and I think I just haven't been taking enough rest days. I did take that rest day in Salida, which was good, but I'm staying in hostels, and I'm kind of I'm sleeping better on the trail than in the hostel. I'm just not used to sleeping in a bunk room with a bunch of people. There was nothing wrong with the people. I think it was just kind of an unfamiliar situation. So like I said, on the Arizona trail, I was able to take 2 entire weeks off, and that really helped me recover from the wear and tear. So that's probably adding up, plus just the heavy pack, and there has been a lot of hiking uphill. So anyway, I'm basically left with, I'm trying to hike 22 miles today, 24 tomorrow, and then 20 the next day, and I think that'll be okay. The 20 on the third day could be tricky because some of that's going to be above tree line in the afternoon, so kind of need to get lucky with the weather. And then that'll leave me with 10 miles on the last day to get to Lake City. So this is just a long stretch. That's kind of how it goes, and we'll see how it goes. Welcome to sunny Colorado. I'm in the Cochetopa Hills section of the trail, which is not as mountainous. It's kind of between mountain ranges. It's between the Collegiate Peaks range and the San Juan Mountains. I can actually see San Juan Peak, which I'm going to pass tomorrow, which is a 14er. And I'm trying to walk 30 miles today. Kind of just for fun, but it's also going to help me get to Lake City safely, because I have to go over some high passes tomorrow, and ideally I could do that before noon. And if I hike 30 miles today, I'll have a pretty good chance of doing that. I hit my goal yesterday of 22 miles. I actually did 23, so that was really good. And this is definitely the easiest part of the entire Colorado Trail. It's very flat, and it's around 9,000 feet, so a lower elevation. But a pretty awesome thing happened yesterday that I wanted to tell you about. Huge shout out to Peppa, if you're watching this. So I met this guy, Peppa, on day one of the Arizona Trail. As shout out to Skiz. My friend Skiz hiked down to the Mexico border with me, and as we were departing, this guy Peppa passes us. And I didn't see him for a long time. And then when I was in Saguaro National Park, ran into him again. Turns out he's this super experienced thru hiker, and that was great timing because it snowed a lot in Saguaro National Park, and so he kind of broke the trail for everyone else. And that was a big confidence boost to me. I felt way safer going with an experienced person, and just hanging out with him and talking to him, I learned a lot. I got a lot of great tips. I learned a lot of hiker lingo, and just hearing all the stuff he's done, well, it was really impressive. So he was hiking big miles, and he finished the Arizona Trail way before I did. And so you meet these people, and a lot of times you don't see them again. And I'm hiking close to Flagstaff, and I see this guy in an SUV, and he's handing out food to hikers, and it's Peppa. So I'm like, oh man, what are the odds? It was so cool to see him again, and we're just hanging out. He tried offering me food. With my low carb diet, there's a lot of stuff I can't accept. So. But I took some pistachios from him, and it was just awesome to see him again. And then we ended up meeting up in Flagstaff with some other hikers I had met on that section, and we got some food and drinks and stuff, which was really cool. And we part ways, and again, I'm thinking I'm probably never going to see him again, But we have each other's numbers now. And now, yesterday I'm just walking. I see the same SUV and a guy, handing out food. I'm like, what are the odds? And so it was Peppa again. So that was totally unexpected for me. I think I had mentioned to him I was going to hike the Colorado Trail, but I had no idea what he was doing the rest of the summer. And turns out he's been, well, I hope it's okay to not revealing any personal information, but he's been out on the trail having a good time in Colorado. So he was doing trail magic. Sometimes trail magic is just spontaneous, but sometimes people they'll set up what he was doing. They'll park their car and just have a bunch of food for hikers and stuff. And that's also called trail magic, but that was real magic. Seeing him again and just bumping into him along all these trails I'm doing this summer. It was so cool. So again, huge shout out to Peppa. That was just an awesome experience that could only happen from being out here and hiking the miles and stuff. So that was fun. All right, I'm done hiking for today, and I did actually hike 30 miles, which that wasn't really something I was planning on. It just kind of made sense with how I was running behind schedule, and then that really easy section of trail came up, and I guess I'm bored. I don't know. I was like, when else am I going to hike 30 miles in a day? And I got to mile 28, and I was almost about to stop, but somebody was already camping where I was going to stop. So I was like, come on, you're this close, might as well do it. So that's the farthest that I've ever hiked in one day. I've hiked probably 25 miles a couple times on the Arizona Trail. So I feel pretty good. It's a funny thing. I mentioned my Achilles were kind of aching a few days ago, and I was also just really sleepy tired that day, and I got a lot of sleep that night, and I felt them a little bit. My knees were maybe slightly achy a couple times, but I'm not really in any serious pain. The Achilles are feeling pretty good. So I'm thinking if I just continue to get rest, that they will get better and better. And I'm not gonna have to do this again. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm gonna get the whole afternoon off, because getting into the section of hiking where you want to get most of your hiking in before noon, because the trail is above tree line a lot of the time. So that's really why I wanted to hike this far. There's 3 different sections that are above tree line, and so if I hike 11 or 12 miles by noon tomorrow, then I should be safe. And I think that's pretty doable. So that's that. You know, it's good to push your limits once in a while and test your body. So that's also what I was doing, and I felt really good all day. That's why I kept going. It just had a nice tempo, and so yeah, 30 miles in a day. So that's something I can think back to, you know, next time I'm going through something difficult. That's why I do these things, because when you accomplish something hard like that, the next time you do something hard, you can think back and say, hey, I hiked 30 miles in a day one time, you know, with a 20-pound pack on, so I can do this other hard thing that I'm facing. So all right, so getting back into the mountains tomorrow, and should have some great scenery for you. All right, I am here on the saddle next to San Luis Peak, which is in the background here. That is a 14er, which is the shortest one to get to from the Colorado Trail. It's about 1.5 miles. And I could do it, but I'm not going to. I did it last time I was here in Colorado, and I've been doing enough hiking the last couple of days, so skipping that. But I feel surprisingly good for how far I walked yesterday. The Achilles are not really bothering me at all, and my muscles are tired, but that's about it. So it's pretty cool, you know, like I was saying, if you're using your body the right way, I think I still have some improvements I can make, but I feel like I'm utilizing my glutes a lot, and you know, your glutes are these huge muscles. They can just power you all day. So feeling good. I have one more peak to get over, close to 13,000 feet. I got about 5 more miles of hiking today, and then I should be able to take it easy this afternoon. I am finishing up another tasty dehydrated meal here, and I just wanted to give a special shout out to Leanna and Max. Thank you both for watching, and Max was the one who let me borrow his dehydrator to dehydrate all this food. So I hope you are enjoying a very tasty and filling high-fat, low-carb meal while you're watching this. And I'm thinking of you out here on the trail. And another quick note about the meals, the website I got the recipes from is Chef Glenn. If you just search for like dehydrated backpacking meals, it should pop up. So that's that. I'm beginning the final approach to Spring Creek Pass, which is where I will catch a ride into Lake City, hopefully. And I hope you enjoyed that section. The scenery I thought was really good. It's kind of a fun challenge. That was a little bit over 100 miles in 5.5 days. And that 30-mile day was, I enjoyed it. I don't know what that says about me, but it made me focus on that challenge that I set for myself. And I had fun doing that, so, and I feel really good. I'd say I'm about 90 to 95% pain-free with the Achilles thing, so I guess I'm still working through some issues there. So hopefully one day I can say goodbye to that forever. But that's that. Getting kind of close to the end of the trail. Definitely less than 2 weeks left, and the scenery is going to be more of the same. So if you enjoyed the scenery from the San Juan Mountains, that's kind of, I think, how it's going to be the rest of the time till I'm in Durango. But until then, I got a rest day coming up today and tomorrow in Lake City, so gonna eat lots of food, hopefully get some real coffee, and hang out with some friends I'm meeting along the trail. So I will see you next time.